Back to the trending topics. We have Soludo dedicates Sun Governor of the Year 2025 award to keke drivers, petty traders, farmers, others. Hello. Mrs. Soludo extends healthy living guiding projects, weekly physical exercise to more council areas.
Anambra Assembly Speaker Udeze felicitates Soludo on Sun Newspaper Man of the Year award.
Yeah, right on.
Soludo receives commendations for transformation of Onitsha South Council area. Abga Chieftain able to extol Soludo on achievements. We have Cleric Nkemo Okafor urges Christians to sustain race for salvation. Core members unhappy with failure of federal government to implement 77,000 naira monthly allowance. Soludo receives more commendations for initiating Anambra State Geographic Information System. And finally, from website, Anambra's Women Affairs and Social Welfare Ministry seeks partnership with media on gender-based issues.
Okay, let's hear your thoughts on the issues. And we have at the house the analysts. We have Dr. Emao Dabe, social, environmental, and administrative pharmacist. Welcome to Press Room.
Thank you, and good morning, Anambra.
All right, with us as well is the Rotarian Kanajuko Bidibo Omi Nonoka, Public Affairs Analyst. Good morning and welcome to Press Review.
Thank you and good morning for having us today.
Okay, who fires the first salvo?
Bidibo, go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, first thing first, we have to put our congratulations to His Excellency. It is not easy, or fella, for him to be the first among equals.
Yeah.
He has been doing in Kafunanya. He has done quite a lot. So to me, giving him an award is a call for him to do more. So His Excellency, to me, has actually performed. Even though we have some other gray areas he will touch, but we are like Oliver Twist. We could keep asking for
some more. Keep asking for more.
Yes. So we will continue to thank him as in Eto Obulokoko or Obufu. And he has been doing the same thing in several sectors of Anambra State. We can see it, more especially the Udogachi. This Udogachi thing has actually touched us in Oka. Because before now, Oka has been a flashpoint of different kinds of criminality, and we were not actually sleeping with even our two eyes. But now, I can even use my third eye to sleep. I don't know, Roy, if you have a third eye.
Well, everybody has. It depends on if it's developed or not.
So I can now sleep with it. We thank the governor. Because it is our duty to support. Like you rightly said, see something, say something. In areas of Okite, people are grumbling. They are grumbling, but I know security. I know a lot of vices. So we are talking about criminality, with some effrontery by our young men. But today, they have come to realize that you can't do everything and get away with it. So, like what I saw 2 days ago from Enugu Axis and the Okite, you see the kind of shrine people have. And the worst part is that I had some little children talking around there, which means they are living within the premises of such, arrangements of an Eshokite. And people will be coming there, these children will be looking at them, and then probably it registers in their brain. Lazy. But I'm not saying that all of the Okites or the DBA, the Bonine, or Ajo dibia. Mana anya mboloni no mabuza mabu anya mara nkawana. So you can
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. I also have to join my colleague in, well, congratulating the governor for being himself, because if amongst all the governors in Nigeria, I don't know how many of them came with a first-class background in whatever area of study. I don't know how many of them got to the peak of their careers by becoming a professor in his 30s. So we expect him to also carry that to whatever he does. So we congratulate the Sun Group of newspapers for recognizing the governor. But to me, such a recognition is actually a challenge for him to do a lot more.
Yeah.
Because, like he would always say, he intentionally applied for the job.
Yeah.
And Anambra interviewed him, amongst others, and decided to give him the job. So, for as long as he's on it, Anambra expect him to keep giving his best. So that's what we say, that Mr. Governor, you've only been reminded that the job you apply for demands every minute, every second of your time, and keep giving it to your best. Thank you.
Yeah, and one salient aspect of the award is that he got the Sun Award as a CBN governor, and it's like 20 years after, he's getting the same award as the governor of Anambra State. So it's not easy. That's quite a milestone.
That's why I said that for him to, considering the man that we chose to be governor, because when you apply for a job, you come with your credentials, and the employing authorities employ you based on those things you put before them, and they continue to use it to measure your performance.
Exactly.
So anytime you fall below that, then so for now, he carries with him that background of a first-class candidate, a professor of repute coming to another. So, I mean, if somebody else, there are some other persons who would have come, and also you measure, the way you measure them and the expectation will be different. But in this particular case for Mr. Governor, the bar, of course, he knows where it is. The onus is on him to continually strive to excel.
I think it is traditional with him as a person, because when he was with DMO and then came into the banking sector, you saw the reform he came up with. And like you said, that was why he was given such award. And then a player that will be watching other colleagues playing on the field. They will be playing, and then you will see loopholes. So when he now, like Doctor said, offered himself, applied for this job to become the governor of Anambra State, he was watching other governors playing that game. And when he came in and he saw those areas that he will make the input, and that is his input. And therefore, if the award is coming now, it is a replication of what he has done before as a sideliner that watched and understood the game and come in and do the difference. You see what I'm saying?
And in less than 3 years in office, because we'll be talking about 3 years in office very shortly. So to join the conversation, call us on 0706 5381 320. And if you're watching us live, you can drop your comment in the comment section, and we will read out your comment.
You can call us on 0904 956 0826. Send a message to our WhatsApp number 0705 113 8812.
All right, well, we are with
Someone is here.
Okay.
Hello.
Heartbeat of the East.
Champions.
I think I'm not sure much or I don't even have now Jesus.
Amen.
Yeah, I'm not going to know that. What could you call about the number of the empty go that I don't come to
Play it out.
Thanks for the copper. We're happy. Now, 77,000 naira. They are hoping naira plan at everyone, which I will make. You know, about state I can afford those things. The copper, about all the whole Nigeria workers. Our own 70 minimum wage, I have to go to it. So, when I even have a Yucatan job now, no better to Hana, but something,000. And this is transportation, all you have Nigeria government this pattern or this mode of in the hard hand. I will take a budget in every year. I will take a budget. And the budget now be on time. Budget in the middle of the year. Okay, budget about the implementation is the state year. I don't know how many people at the for budget, capital, expenditure, being current, the national implementation and how about the implement. Okay, now after the 2025 budget last week, we got still again implementation. Then I found all those things in our budget, all those things in our budget, 2000. Now we are doing the workers, 8 workers, and how much million? You don't have to work you got how many areas, areas. I don't take it. I mean, now like something like I don't know the change. Everything I need to do, every place you go, I sit in allowance about the thing. So they show we make up our time and we are not happy.
Why begin to conclude. All right. Thank you very much for your contribution. All right, from Punch, we have Fubara dismisses impeachment rumor, reversed as caution, federal government, local government autonomy, government agencies brainstorm as direct payment suffers setback. ATM loaded with cash as 100 naira withdrawal fee begins. And then you can check out page 31 of today's Punch to discover how buyers will get a 65 naira per liter refund from Dangote refinery. These are the trending ones from Punch.
From Vanguard, Lagos Assembly crisis plots to return Obasa thicken. State of the nation, Nigeria flowing with tears, blood coming from Anglican Church, Baptist Church to Tinubu. Nigerians are starving. Act now. How Nigeria maltreated Igbo for decades, coming from Okosiles and Wodo. Still on Vanguard, on the banner headline, Supreme Court verdict on Rivers. Anxiety as Fubara begins implementation. Writer says agrees to conduct fresh local government polls. Directs council chairman to hand over to heads of local government administration today. Fubara, Wike political class should find middle ground, coming from South leaders. Caution that Supreme Court judgment should not be compromised. Rivers elders council react. Moving on, why exchange rate stability is not sustainable, coming from experts. Why federal government insists contractors move to site before mobilization, coming from Umahi. That's on page 9 of Vanguard. Further hike in electricity tariff will be resisted, coming from NLC. Ramadan, Khan, Naptan, fume over closure of schools. From the world of sports, 2026 World Cup qualifiers, Rwanda plots, Super Eagles fall. These are the trending stories from Vanguard.
Over on to Tribune, NLC threatens mass action over Telecom's electricity tariff hikes. Alleged sexual harassment. We have no petition against Babio. That's a report credited to the Senate. Media aid falls Saraki. Fubara to implement Supreme Court verdict. Orders local government chairman to hand over. Asks heads of local government areas to take over council administration. Dangote to refund customers who purchase PMS above advertised rates from key partners. Elumelu commits to boosting Gabor's infrastructure, youth empowerment. On why I didn't implement 2014 confab recommendations. That's from Jonathan, as published in page 22 of today's Tribune. We have the writers pays a condolence visit to Ayo Adebanjo's family. Atiku during visit says Adebanjo's death a monumental loss. And finally, new ATM fees. Customers grew as banks begin implementation. Direct CBN to suspend ATM fee hike. Pending court verdict. Serap tells Tinubu.
From The Guardian, on the 2025 budget, bloated 41 trillion naira revenue targets stokes fresh fiscal deficit concern. And we'll have an overview of the 2025 budget on the front cover of The Guardian. Moving on, IBB's June 12 account. Too little, too late. June 12, Olani Bekun berates Babangida for not apologizing to Abiola family Nigerians. Moving on, ACF calls for probe over Akpabio Akpoti Udwagan's face-off. Betrayal, politics told 2014 Confab report implementation, says Jonathan. House moves against all firms owing federal government 9.4 trillion naira royalties, other charges. You can't play God, Wike tells Ubara as governor pledges obedience to Supreme Court rulings. And finally, from The Guardian, Dangote absorbs 16 billion naira marketers' loss from price reduction. These are the trending stories from The Guardian.
All right, before we get back to the analysts in the studio from Delhi Independent, Governor Fubara orders fresh local government pool after Supreme Court ruling. Fresh electricity tariff hike will be met with mass resistance. That's from NLC, puts members on standby for industrial action, rejects migration of consumers from lower bands to band A. Still trending here, where we have a picture of the Independent 2024 award winners, and then you can check that out to see who they are and why they won. 2025 budget, oil price drop below benchmark may increase borrowing. That's from an analyst. And then handling coils, demand duty waivers, warn aviation industry is toxic. Okay, back to the analysts in the studio. You can as well call in to air your views or share your thoughts on the trending newspaper headlines.
Yeah, on Daily Independence, we are talking about the hike in tariff, and the NLC threatening that they will resist any hike in tariff price. We have
Can you get
too many times. We have had their threat, which has never been carried out. Like Roy, you said, Huchasin is not Mechasin.
Mechasin, yes.
And we have lived with all these threats of this will not happen, this will. At the end of the day,
it will still happen.
People will watch it subject. Look at the fuel, PMS fuel hike. Dangote is now coming up with, I want to refund 65 whatever to people who bought over the stated amount.
And some importers have been saying that Dangote is trying to push them out of the market.
But that is what it should be. That's what should be now.
Are they happy people?
We are talking about market forces bringing down the cost of. Therefore, we don't have monopoly anymore by the NNPC or NNPCL, as they choose to call themselves. NNPC. So what I am saying is that if we leave Nigerian economy to the forces of the market, that people who are interested, not monopoly, and they think it will be better for us. Therefore, if Dangote is trying to push people out of the market, since we are now refining without much dollar being purchasing of this or crude, we are prospecting crude. We are here refining it in this country. I mean, our fuel should come down to 200 naira per liter. Since even the market there, you can see the electric, you see what is going on. Electric cars are coming up. So Nigeria should be able to refine our fuel and bring it so low for our economy to pick up. People are suffering. We are suffering today because the production, the cost of production in this country is very high as a result of all these markup by marketers and even the government itself. They are not helping matters. Dangote, as one of the biggest refinery in Africa, could even have market within the sub-region and some other African countries. So to me, it is a welcome development.
Okay, Doc.
Well, the expectation of Nigerians before now with regards to the prices of petroleum products was that with the coming on stream of Dangote refineries, that prices were going to go down. But what we found was that NNPC officials, for whatever reason, tried to fix the prices and Nigerians were made to pay more. But thank God now there's this competition coming up between them, which to most Nigerians will say is a welcome thing, because if the prices of fuel comes down, transport fares will go down, a lot of other things will also come down. Especially at a time like now, when you see the electricity tariff going up, the bank charges, ATM withdrawal fees going up. You see the telecommunications also increasing their own prices. Sending a text message now is 6 naira instead of 4 it used to be. The data you put in, so we need to see one area where price will actually come down so that Nigerians could breathe. So if that area be in the area of fuel, to be a welcome development. But as well, we also appeal to our leaders in other sectors, because in one of the news headlines we read out now, we saw the setback in the release of funds directly to local governments. We think that tier of government needs to be fully allowed to function, because governance, a greater percentage of Nigerians relate to government more at that local level than even the state and federal. And once that arm of government begins to work, you see that Nigerians will begin to breathe more. Especially so now that the revenue accruing to both the local government, states, and even federation, that's from the federation account, appear to have doubled or even tripled. In Anambra State, most local governments now receive amounts that each time we hear it, even my own local government, one begins to wonder that should 1/3 of that amount be applied, the common man in those communities or the common man will begin to have a feel of what government is all about.
Right.
So we want to say that the sooner these funds start getting to the local governments directly, the better. And we appeal to state governments to also allow them function, because that's where the common man gets to feel governance. The common man relates more with his councillors. Most will relate to their local government chairman, but you find out that in most local governments, only the privileged few that even get to know who the governor is and probably see him once in a while as he passes. Not talk of getting close to him. So we want that direct allocation to local governments to begin to happen like yesterday, and for them to begin to apply it. The common man needs to actually breathe economically.
All right, to have a message from Facebook from Pascal Chukwunwike. Good morning, ABS and Anambra. I congratulate our able solution governor for his Governor of the Year award, urging him to keep up the good works he's doing in Anambra State. NYSC still paying 33K to core members even till now. That's not good. The question is, what can 33K do in Nigeria today? IBB June 12 account. IBB should be arrested and charged to court for irresponsible accounts in office. Dangote is doing well. Petroleum prices should drop even more. Other importers of petroleum should either adjust to meet the demands of Nigerians or go out of business. Daluno. That's from Pascal Chukwunwike. All right, keep your comments coming on Facebook. We'll do well to read them out when we see them.
All right, we used to have a song from Bonnie M in those days, Rivers of Babylon. And this time around, it's like we have Rivers of Crisis. Another one looming there, the local government issue and the Supreme Court order, and Fubara telling the local government chairman to hand over, and then getting ready to conduct another local government election, which has assented to that he must conduct. So what's your take on that?
You see, sometimes I laugh. Why do I laugh? I laugh because we went and copied presidential system of government, which is, like the doctor said, all the way from the presidency to the state to the local government, and we are not actually operating it. And we copied. How we copied the presidential system of government from the American system and brought it back, and we watch that each and every time a city mayor is elected, he does his job. Here in Nigeria, the local government chairmen, who are like mayors, because I can now see them, some of them are now going with that mayor. Yes, when you are a mayor, it means that you are in charge. And a mayor that is not in charge is not a mayor. In this case, like you rightly ask, too many crises flowing like the rivers of Babylon in this country. Fubara says now, I will obey the Supreme Court verdict. Yes, he's a smart guy. And then he has asked the HODs.
And the elders of River State are equally warning the federal government.
Yes. So, you see, we have left one man, just one man, to continue to beat a war chest and disturbing the entire River State population. One man. And it is very wrong. It has never happened anywhere. I think all these leaders, they go overseas, they watch cities, they watch local government, they watch elections being carried out, and they watch budget being presented, and even allocations are being allocated to various government functionaries, and they will allow them work. But like Doc said, he hopes and we pray that they will allow the local government to function. If the local government start to function, the difference will be clear. We will see governance at that level, and people will feel the pulse of the governance. Like you rightly said, councillors are from different wards, and we know them by their names. A councillor that represents me, if he is actually functioning, will be able to cause a village ward or ward town hall meeting for us to express that this is our need, this is what you have done. In the last 4 years, I have not seen a councillor having a meeting of his ward and promising that, listen, that we will do what? We will do this. I'm going to carry this to F&G. That is the normal meeting of the local government for them to accept. I remember in those good days when we had Anambra as the chairman of council. If you go behind UBA, at the point where you see there was street, there was no culvert there. That culvert was no culvert. But as soon as someone get into the council, he was able to put it before the council, and that culvert was approved. And today, that culvert is still functioning. So a culvert he did in 1986. So what I'm trying to say is that until we learn how to, allow our local government function to that level, Nigeria is not getting it right.
Okay. Doc, are you commenting on anyone?
Well, that's the same River State issue. You will just hope that from the newspaper reports, one man, that's what the cliché they used, one man who probably lives in Abuja as a minister, was telling his friend, the governor of River State, not to play God. Whereas what he's doing can be seen as one playing God.
Yes.
But I want to say that nobody has ever played God and gotten away with that.
That's right.
God is still God.
Yeah.
And he acts in mysterious ways. We can only hope and pray that what is happening in River State, or what they are pushing the Rivers people to do, will not be the beginning of another wild west that will see to the end of this administration. Because our revenue base, River State still remains the treasure base. Rivers Bayelsa and the Anambra Basin remain the treasure base of the nation. And anything that disturbs that will make the country to suffer economically. So we hope that common sense will prevail. We hope the right thing will be done. The judiciary, which they say is the hope of the common man, we hope they will also act fast and determine the case that is still remaining, which is the fate of the 27 members of the House of Assembly, 26 or 27, who, yes, we saw on air claim they've moved to another party, but today we are being told that it will take the courts to actually decide whether they moved or not. They should also decide that case. Starving the Rivers Fund, probably stopping them from having access to their funds. Well, I know that Lagos State at a time lost, that happened, but this is where you also the ingenuity of the governor and his people, lieutenants, will come into play. I want to believe that River State will survive it, but let the judiciary and our politicians know that anything that happens to River State may affect the entire country. And nobody wants that to happen. Thank you.
All right, we just have one paper left, Daily Trust. protesting just over killing of truck drivers in Southeast. 20 killed when vehicles burnt in 1 year. My slim brother left behind 12 children. NURTW 6 probe. Police mom. Bandits abduct 4 varsity students in Katsina. Natasha versus Akpabio. SCF demands probe. Senate rules out impeachment. Sacking Sasa dies at 125. Makinde orders 1. Massive job losses in Nigeria over USAID's funding freeze. Okay, that's the last tabloid or national daily we are looking at today. So back to the analysts in the studio. You can as well call us to make your contribution or to join the conversation. Yeah.
Yes, let me talk about our Senate. Our Senate has been awash with one allegation or the other of men in gray suit, being found wanting, being very amorous, being, I really don't understand why today we will be faced with such allegation when we have problems that should be deliberated on. Today in Nigeria, our Senate is laughable. I must tell you that things like this, if it happens in some other crime, first of all, the head of the Senate, the chairman, so to say, has been actually alleged to must have done one thing or the other with strong evidence, so to say. And he has not said a word. He has not mentioned it. He has not talked about it. Then probably he has left it as a feminine thing because his wife just came up with a threat of suing the senator, the lady senator, that actually said, I have been treated so badly within the Senate. And I understood from last week that she has gone back and stayed on the same seat that, sparked off the controversy. When things are like that, and we believe that our senators are all matured men, and they should handle issues with some certain level of maturity, coming down to this level. In the university, lecturers, when they are actually pinpointed of trying to do one thing or the other with the student, and we have seen consequences of that. Today, Senate is now saying we have no single petition on the body of the Senate for them to, throw their weight and probably cause an investigation to it. Are they fooling the children of this country, or are they talking to Nigerians that an allegation that was publicized on Arise TV that is childish, or that is a woman thing, or that is a feminine discussion? No. They must show us, they must tell us why it must happen in the first place. Caesar's wife must live above board.
Board, yeah.
Well, mine is just to say that the Nigerian Senate should stop taking Nigerians for granted. And considering the caliber of persons who will be elected to be in the Senate, very responsible persons, most of them are former governors, men and women who have accomplishment, and there are more serious things the Senate should be looking into.
Yes.
In fact, at a time, I don't even think what should concern the Senate is their seat reassignments and all that, and then that becomes a very big issue. The Senate of Nigeria, we need to see robust debates coming out of the Senate. We need to see the Senate carrying out their legislative oversight on the way things are being done, security, the life and well-being of the people. These are issues that should concern them. The Senate should be on the side of the people.
Yeah.
I do not see how the sitting arrangement relates to the people of Nigeria who have hired them to do a job. The Senate should actually be mindful of the reasons why the people sent them there.
Yeah.
Because like people say, this could be a diversionary measure for us to forget that the Senate is not delivering on the agenda that took them there.
I think her interview Arise, Natasha just said, my case, putting her, now my case is a case of a student being punished by a lecturer for refusing to sleep with him. That's quoting Natasha now on her Rise TV during her interview, and so many other things. So where do we go from there?
That is what I'm saying, that we have seen lecturers being punished for actually trying to harass students sexually within the community. So this Cinderella discussion talk of not taking it serious, like Doctor said, we have issues in this country. We have serious matters in this country. Why wouldn't they face it? Look at the coppers are now crying. You said 77,000 for us. It has not been implemented. We are talking of thousands of coppers that were being rolled up on every 6 months. Their welfare is at stake, and you are in the Senate receiving huge amount of money every 30 days. That is why they don't understand the feelings, the yearnings, the suffering of the Nigerian people. Our own children, so it is very painful, and they are there in the Senate talking about the seat arrangement. What is the seat arrangement in American Senate or Congress? I have never heard. What is the seat arrangement in Gambia, where a woman stood up to talk to the authority and everyone listens? I don't understand. So Nigerian system is another system that is alien to all the democratic systems in the world.
Okay. All right. I think this is where we'll draw the cutting on today's press review. The very first edition for the week. That's beginning Monday, the 3rd day of...
and the month as well.
Hello?
And the month as well.
The
first edition for the month as well.
Okay, March. Yeah, I said March, the month of March. So we're on the same page.
That's one issue I saw.
Look, if you finish whatever you have to say today, there won't be anything to say tomorrow.
I'm not talking about one of us that lost a wife. I'm saying, my condolences.
The cinematographer.
Yes.
That's
I saw it here now.
Stanley on.
Yes. Okay.
I'm not saying much.
On a very sad note.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's that. Okay, we want to thank you for coming. Social, environmental, and administrative pharmacist, Dr. Iman Udape. Thanks for joining us on today's press review.
Thank you very much, and let's always keep the people first. You know how we do.
I also want to thank you, Rotary and Kana Chukobuni, both for coming on the press review this morning.
Thank you for having me on a Monday morning too.
Yeah, bro. You could have at 9 o'clock we'll be on to Zuko, Anambra.
My name is Uche Chukwu Ebonam.